everybody, and welcome to my first video on this channel. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be watching Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 and then giving my thoughts about them. And as you can see via the video, I'm making hamburger helper, which I'm going to eat while I watch Hellraiser. So, the only things that I know about Hellraiser is I know about Pinhead and the Cenobites, and I know about Chatterer, I think his name is. But I don't know any of the other ones. And I also know the whole you open the box and we came. They come out of this, I think it's called the Lamentus configuration, or the Lamentus box, or something like that. The only knowledge I have of him is from Dead by Daylight, the game. And I've purposely avoided things so that I can watch Hellraiser as much of a clear view as possible. And I also know about the line, we are demons to some, angels to others, and that's a really intriguing line if you ask me. So I'm excited to see Hellraiser and see what I think about it, because I've heard that they're really good films. At least I've heard the first two are. Yeah. So, let's get into the review of the first Hellraiser. Hey, so I just finished the first Hellraiser, and it felt really... Look, I'm going to start with pros and cons. The cons, it felt really slow to me. I think that was maybe just because I was expecting a lot of Cenobite stuff, and they didn't come in until, there was an entire hour. They didn't come in until, an hour into the film. But I feel like that was probably just because I had the preconceived notion that Pinhead was the main thing in this entire series. I've heard that the Cenobites and stuff are a lot more in the second one. Anyway, but the special effects were incredible and horrifying, and I am a little creeped out right now. As you can see, it's dark outside. But overall, I thought that was a pretty good film. It was a bit confusing, not really that confusing, but I think my main complaint was probably that it just felt fairly slow. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty good horror movie. And now, I'm gonna go watch the second one. And I have a feeling I'm gonna like it a bit more, because I'm usually a really big fan of world building, and since it didn't mention a lot about the Cenobites, they kind of just showed up. I don't think I liked it as much as I would have if they went more into the Cenobites, which is what I hear they do in the second one. So, see you guys in a second. Also, I forgot to mention that I made the unfortunate decision of eating hamburger helper with this movie. Luckily, I finished it before I got too far into the gore. But for the second one, the refreshments I will be enjoying is this sparkling ice caffeine blue raspberry and a moon pie. Not sponsored, of course. So I just finished watching Hellraiser 2, and I think I enjoyed it about the same as I did enjoy the first one. And I feel like the biggest strength of these two movies that I've watched so far is the character and set design, and just the feeling is really good. But I feel like in my opinion, they do a really bad job at explaining stuff to you, at least in the second one. Because it's just things happen, and they don't really tell you. And I guess you're supposed to figure it out on your own, but apparently I'm not very good at figuring stuff out, because it's just why does the doctor, after he becomes a Cenobite, fight all the other Cenobites? Is it because they've been revealed that they were human? I mean, I guess that's why. I don't know. But I also I said in my previous one that I thought I would enjoy it more because it would dive more into the Cenobites, but it still really didn't talk about what they were. I mean, they were humans that were taken by the Lamentis box, and then for some reason they were chosen to be Cenobites, but it doesn't tell us why they were chosen to be Cenobites. It's just that Pinhead was one of the ones that was chosen to be a Cenobite. It's weird. I feel like it doesn't do a good job at explaining many things, and the ending is also really confusing. It's like there was no blood that was leaked onto the mattress, so how did anybody come back? And why did the pillar rise out of the mattress? It was confusing. I enjoyed the Doctor versus Pinhead, Doctor versus the other Cenobites thing. I just found it confusing. As far as like action, like overall how good I thought the entire movie was, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 or a 7. And then the first one, I'd also probably give the same rating, 6.5 to 7. But it's just I just feel like they don't do a good job at explaining the things. I mean, they do a great job of how everything looks, but it's just like that's only half of how good the movie. That's only half of it for me. But so yeah. So I've heard that everything past number 2 sucks, but I do plan on watching everything in the series that I can. Hopefully, I'll be able to find everything across multiple streaming platforms and everything. But so yeah, those are my thoughts. And I suppose I'll see you guys next time because my next video is going to be Creepshow and Creepshow 2. So stay tuned.